Alrighty, how's it going everyone? Combo here. Today we have 9 quick tips on how to counter melee here in the finals. There have been a ton of complaints about melee weapons, mostly the sledgehammer, the riot shield, and the dual blades. I'm gonna be honest guys, I've never really had too many issues, but rather than sit here and gatekeep how that is, I'm gonna go over 3 tips for every single build to hopefully give you an easier time countering melee. I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm gonna quit yapping in the intro, but if it does help you, we're really close to 12K, please do the whole like and sub thing, that would be super kind. With that being said though, let's get right into this and talk about how to counter these pesky melee weapons. Alright, so starting things out at number 1, we're going to start with the light, then move to the medium, and then the heavy. We're going to talk about the simplest thing you can do to counter melee. You have somebody running at you, and you simply just use the Nullifier. You hit them, they can't do anything. If it's a medium, you can simply run away. If it's a light, maybe you hit a jump pad and run away. Same thing for a heavy, just literally run away. This is also a fantastic counter if you get hit by a Winch Claw, something I will do on occasion. If a heavy is alone, I will bait a Winch Claw while I have the Nullifier equipped, and when I get Winch Clawed, I simply just pop it right in his face like this, and he can't do anything. I then run to my team, and they can get an easy kill. So number 1 on the light is going to be the Nullifier. Alrighty, next up at number 2, you might have seen this one coming. We have the double barrel. The double barrel is the ultimate anti-melee weapon in this entire game, even against the riot shield, even though you only have 2 shots. Countering riot shields with this is actually very simple. You don't want to shoot their toes, you want to bait them in. Right when they get in your face, you're going to shoot dash and get behind them. This is going to usually make them miss their swing, and you do a lot more damage than they do. You can also shoot them from behind if you have high enough sensitivity. So once again, double barrel, very powerful, even against riot shields. Once again, I have pretty low sensitivity, so I can't quite do that. But if you hate it, man, you hate sledgehammer, you hate sword, you hate anything melee, double barrel is going to be the best option in the game. So once again, definitely go out and give this one a try, because it is super powerful against those melee weapons. And finally, at number 3, for the light build, we have the smoke and thermal combo. Now you're probably saying, combo, that's kind of weird. Why would you want to run smoke? Because if you throw that down, they're going to know exactly where you are. Well, when you're using smoke and thermal, of course you can pop it, sit inside the smoke and do some damage. The melee player is still going to have a tough time hitting you, but with the melee lock-on and tracking, they might still find you. Instead, what we're going to do is throw down the smoke and walk away. Evasive dash is very good at this for getting away from those melee players, and we're going to use the smoke as a one-way window. So basically, we can see them, but they can't close the distance, because look at this. When I come back, I can't see anything. Maybe I can see the outline, that's about it. But other than that, you really don't have much counterplay to this unless you're also running thermal on light. And even with that being said, it's still going to be difficult. Also a tip for my melee players, because once again, smoke and thermal, kind of scummy. If you want to get rid of smoke, if you didn't know this, explosions actually do it. So if I put down a smoke grenade right here, and we toss our friend Orphan here, as you will see, it takes some time. You see the explosion go off, the smoke will actually move. See the smoke move to over here, and that will actually move and dissipate the smoke in the area you were looking. Of course, it will still kind of linger on occasion, but either way, man, it's a way to kind of make this a little bit more manageable. So either way, man, if you're fighting against a melee player on light, smoke and thermal is going to be your best friend. You could also combine this with the Nullifier and the double barrel if you want to be the ultimate anti-melee build, but that's up to you, man. Next up at number 4, we have the medium. Now the medium has some of my favorite melee counters in the game because they're all pretty creative. The first one we have here is of course the jump pad. This one might seem weird, but I promise this is very good, especially against mediums and heavies. So let's say for example this guy's pushing me, I know we're in a duel, he's about to turn a corner, I put down a jump pad, look at this. He hits the jump pad, goes the opposite direction. Because he's moving forward, he's going to head behind me. I can then use the jump pad to jump in the opposite direction. You can also do this on reaction, so once again, if I'm fighting a guy right here, maybe we'll wait for him to turn the corner here, I'm shooting some shots, he's chasing me, he starts closing that distance, I will put down the jump pad, send him flying, and that will give me a pretty easy finish kill, or allow me to escape if I need to do that. So once again, jump pads very powerful at countering melee. Next up at number 5 on the medium, we have the Goo Grenade. Now of course, you can use Goo with literally any other build in the game. A caveat to this though, I would recommend not using this in the open, as of course they can just mantle over it, but if you are in a tight corridor, this is very powerful. I chose medium as well because the Cerberus did just get a buff, so essentially what this can do is if you know this opponent is going to mantle over the goo, you can actually just shoot it and do quite a bit of burn damage should they decide to chase you. Very powerful option, so basically the Cerberus and the goo is the entirety of this combo. Once again though, as you can see here, melee player chases me, I put down the goo, he can't get through the doorway. Very good stuff, and of course the Cerberus in general, especially after the buff, very good against melee. So once again, goo grenade, and if you're going to use it on medium with the Cerberus, very powerful. And last but not least, on the medium, we have the Frag Combo. This one is super powerful. You can actually get entire team wipes if people are getting really greedy, but this is how it works. You can do this with either explosive mines or gas mines. Very simple. If I know this guy's using melee and he's chasing me, all I'm going to do is as soon as I turn a corner, I'm going to wait for him. I'm going to put down my mine and my frag grenade. He's going to turn the corner and take a ton of damage, as you can see here, allowing for some pretty easy finish kills. You can do this, as I said, with the explosive mine or the gas mine. Personally, though, I like to use the gas mine because it will block off areas, and you're not having to worry about waiting for the frag or the explosive mine to prime to get the max damage. So once again here, I have a guy chasing me. Turn the corner, put one of these down like this. He turns that corner, you get frag and gas damage. Once again, just a very powerful finish and can definitely catch people off guard. Alrighty, next up at number 7, we have the Winch Claw. Now, as it stands currently, the Winch Claw has not received a nerf, which I think is crazy. And you're probably saying, Combo, I thought we were countering melee. Why would I want to bring them closer to me? Well, here's why. Because just about every single weapon on the heavy, other than maybe the MGL, is gonna do pretty damn good at close range. With that being said, assuming you're not getting shot by the entire team, pulling a target with the Winch Claw does 2 things. 1, it stuns them. 2, it pulls them into your team, and 3, I guess it does 3 things, gives you your optimal range for most weapons. So in this instance, I'm using the SA-1216. If this guy has a riot shield or dual blades, literally all I have to do is pull him into me, I have more health, and then I just lay into him. Even if I miss a couple shots like that, like trying to show off just how forgiving this is, he's gonna be in my face, he's not gonna run away. You do a ton of damage, you stun the target, your teammates are probably gonna help him. So once again, pulling a melee player with the Winch Claw is essentially a death sentence. So once again, very powerful, especially on lights and heavies. So once again, man, use the Winch Claw, pull him in, and take him out. Alrighty, next up at number 8, this one's pretty self-explanatory. We have the Flamethrower. You can't block flames. You can't use a dome shield to block it. You can't use a barricade to block it. The Flamethrower is just super powerful. Combo this with the Winch Claw, especially if you hate dagger or sword lights. I mean, dude, there's just nothing they can do. It also doesn't really take much accuracy, so once again, if you're getting chased by a melee player, you can just sit there, walk backwards, and just watch them die. Like, there is just absolutely nothing they can do. They can try to out DPS you, but chances are you're probably going to trade. So once again, man, if you absolutely hate melee players, this is an option. And if you want to take it a step further, take a pyro mine, throw it, go for the Flamethrower. Look at this. Even faster kill. So once again, if you hate melee, Flamethrower and mines are going to be your best friend. Alrighty, we have reached the end, and finally at number 9, we have Lockbolt, man. For a couple reasons. 1, it restricts movement, and 2, the Lockbolt has a shit ton of health. So if I shoot this target right here, and he's trying to get to me, oh no, you can't reach me. And if you want to go back and try to shoot that Lockbolt, if your teammates aren't helping you with a melee weapon, good luck. Because if you're using melee, I know you have to go exactly to where I shot my Lockbolt, which does 2 things. 1, it's going to distract you from me, the heavy, who's going to laser you. And 2, you know, you're just going to stand there and you can't fight back. You have to destroy that, or basically you're going to get bodied because you can't reach me with your melee weapon. I would say this is probably on the heavy, the anti-melee build, that being Flamethrower, Winch Claw, and Lockbolt. Once again, man, there's just really not much you can do. If you want to be a total dickhead, what you can do is equip your Lockbolt before you fight a target, and here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna Winch Claw them. As soon as they land, shoot the Lockbolt down. Literally nothing they can do. They are locked in. You can then run away, pull out your Flamethrower, spin in circles, whatever you want to do, man, and just look at that. There's just literally nothing they can do. So if you hate melee players, this is another fantastic build that you can take advantage of. Anyways, everyone, I do hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to make this video as simple as possible because once again, at the end of the day, especially with melee, it's pretty it's pretty nerve-wracking sometimes. You kind of have to make those split-second decisions. That can be stressful, which is why I think a lot of people don't like Melee. Once again, never really had issues myself. However, I wanted to put this out here to maybe put some things in perspective and make people not complain as much. Another thing, just a general tip. If you don't want to fight Melee, especially if you're on light, literally just run away. Unless they have Winch Claw, they cannot catch you. If you're fighting against a Riot Shield on medium, run away. If you're on heavy, you can't really run away, but you have so much health and so much damage, just use Flamethrower. Always have an anti-melee weapon in your loadout, that way you can counterpick. I understand this isn't really a thing in ranked, however, you're not seeing melee weapons in ranked, generally speaking, once you get to the higher ranks. So once again, that's really the whole thing, man. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for coming and watching. Give this a try before you complain about Melee, and let me know if it helps you. Alright, people, much love, and talk to you next time. Later.